Yeah, 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 I run my fingers through her hair as she smiles and says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you lusting is the one you're loving?
So the 100-year plan, we're going to be thinking about that in 2024. And I'm going to invite everyone to just, maybe take the holiday, not just to set your goals and your intentions for next year, but for the next 100 years, the next 50 years. You got to do 25, 50, and 100. What does that look like? What does that look like in your life? And if you have children over the age of 12, because I think that's the coming of age, ask them 25, 50, 100 years from now, what is the world going to look like? Because we have the power to shape it. And what's your world going to look like? Write it down, put it on paper, come back to it almost like a time machine. I was clearing out some boxes, and I've been keeping goals since I was at the Daily News. So I have like a lot of books. I have like 20 years worth of daily planners. That could be a story unto itself. I was sitting there, I was like, there's a book here with everything that I've done, because I would mark everything down as fastidious. There was only a few years that I did not record my daily journey and put my goals and intentions when this technology came up. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do it on my computer. There's something about this pen and this paper. And it's those of you who take Meta Nature with Dr. Beatty, you know what I'm talking about. When that pen hits that paper and you pour out your intention and you write it out, something happens in your spirit. I can't prove it. I just know when I didn't write it down and I didn't use my daily planner for like 3 years, I was wayward. I feel like those are the 3 years that set me on the course of being in a valley. I can't prove it though. So I want you to look at that. And as I look at China, I just want to give you like their GDP back in 1980. They set forth on a 100-year plan, which will be executed by 2049, I think is when the plan will come to fruition. But this was a country beleaguered, poor, had too many people, didn't have a vision, didn't have any world power outside of military. Their GDP in 1980 was less than 90 billion. Today is $12 trillion. And we all know that China is a world power, but they're a world power on the back of a vision that leaders before Xi Jinping even came into existence. He was not even a thought when this plan was put into action. But I also say this, I'm not advocating for this for the United States. I think every 4 years, every 2 years in the House of Representatives, every 6 years in the Senate, every 4 years in the presidency is good and bad for this nation. It's good from the sense that no one dictator gets to take hold of all of us. It's going to constantly churn. You're not worrying about, but unfortunately, because we don't vote, we keep getting the same motherfuckers. Like, why is Mitch McConnell still in? Why is he still in the Senate? Why? Why is Lindsey Graham still there? Why? Like Marjorie Taylor Greene, how did she get there? And why is she still there? Like at some point, and some would say, why is Nancy Pelosi? We can go there. I agree. I think there should be complete turnover and give new rise to new voices and new ideas and new ideals every 4 years, every 2 years, every 6 years. I think that is healthy for the society. The problem is the people aren't churning. We're not growing and evolving. But individually and group wise, collectively, tribe wise, I think it's nice to see what a plan looks like in your household, for your legacy, for your family. I think that's a good exercise. So I'm looking forward to delving deep, and we're also going to do some genealogy, definitely in Nubia. I'm looking to bring in a lot of genealogists, because I think we should tell our own stories, especially those of us who have had the interruption with the enslavement and the snatching of people, even those of you who come from places that have been colonized. There's an interruption in your family's history, even if you've kept names Yeah, I love that about a lot of my African brothers and sisters, that they have names. I think I forgot, it was either the Somalian brother that we interviewed. I think it was him, who can trace back his lineage because of all of the names. They stay, and you just add the next name to the next generation, but you can know exactly where your people come from as a result of the names. We got names like Karen, and John and David Smith, Jones, Williams, Washington. We got these names that are attached to people that were colonizing brutal people, but we've made these names into something. We talked about that with Kevin this week as well. But our stories are ours. That's our genealogy, and we need to know from our great grandparents and aunties and uncles that are still here, that can still share. And we got to that should be in your 100-year plan, to set forth your genealogy and to set your, not just your family tree. It's not just about a family tree. It's about your family history. We should all be responsible for putting that together. And it shouldn't just be some people get to tell their stories, and all of us should be.
Good love, can't turn my back on that. Gotta make moves, gotta act on that. You're the one I want, and I stand on that.